In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I installed the Wen Air filtration system to the ceiling of my shop. You're probably wondering why I'm wearing a tinfoil hat. Well, I'm here to give you the tinfoil hat tip of the week. You know, there's a lot of dangerous things in the wood shop, but one of the most dangerous things in the wood shop is sawdust, believe it or not. Sawdust has little microscopic splinters that get in the air, and when you breathe them into your sinuses, the splinters stick in your sinuses, and then the splinters will stick in your lungs, and over a long period of time they can cause a lot of health effects, especially when you're dealing with woods like MDFs that have chemicals in them. You get the splinters with the chemicals in them in your sinuses, and you get them in your lungs, and they can cause all kinds of nasty problems. And, you know, I know a lot of people say, oh, I love the smell of sawdust, you know, pine smells so good, and they just don't think about it. They don't put two and two together that all those little splinters are getting inside their sinuses and inside their lungs and can cause all kinds of problems. I'll be the first to admit that I'm not very good about taking care of my shop, so I'm trying to change that. And this Wen Air filtration system is a big step in the right direction. A bonus tinfoil hat tip is that if you actually keep your dust mask on when you're done working, and then you take your shop vac and you vacuum up your area, you get all the sawdust off your workpiece, you get all the sawdust up off the floor before you take your mask off. Because when you're sweeping the floors, you're getting all that dust in the air and you're breathing it in. And I don't know how many times I've been working, I take my dust mask off and there's a cloud of dust in the room here and I can barely breathe. And you know, there's things you can do: open your window, open the garage door, turn on a fan, but that dust just stays in the air and you just breathe it all in. So we're trying to avoid that. So number one, wear a dust mask. Number two, keep your dust mask on until you're done cleaning up your area with the shop vac. And then, if you really want to go all out, get yourself a Wen Air filtration system. If you want to see how I installed that, go ahead and watch the rest of this video. And at the end, I'm going to have a bonus tip for you. I'm going to actually show you how to take a box fan and strap a couple of filters to it to get a makeshift air filter that you can use until you can afford to get something better. You know, it's better than nothing. If nothing else, open your garage door, open your window, take a blower, blow it all out. Just do whatever you can to clean the air. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, we got the Wen Air filtration system. Go ahead and open it up and see what we need to do to set it up. Well, we got the directions. What else we got? This must be the hardware. We'll see what we got. We got a remote control. We got batteries. Oh, we got hooks. I thought I was going to have to go to the hardware store and get hooks, but it looks like we got everything we need right there. All right, that makes me happy. Yeah, I thought I was going to have to run down to the hardware store and get these hooks, but looks like they're all here. You know, a little chain. So this is great. I'm really excited about this. We're off to a good start. Okay, so in the picture here they go 1, 2, 3, and they have don't know what 1, 2, 3 is, but this looks like it's 2. This looks like it's 1, and that looks like it's 3. Says thread the lock nut 1 almost all the way up the hanger. So almost all the way up. Tighten each lock nut against the cabinet top. Hold the hangers so that they do not spin while tightening the lock nut. Okay, so you can see about where I got this right here. That's about how far up we went. Right there. The question is, which way do these face? Alright, well that's just spinning loose, so. This will be easier to install just from my location. This is opposite of what the picture shows, and this is just for me. Alright, so this is probably up too high. This one seemed to be stripping out, and that's probably because we're up too high. Maybe this one's the same way. This part's a little bit confusing. I don't think there's clear instructions on how to mount these hooks on here. This part's a little confusing. I'll read it again. Okay, so it says, thread the lock nuts almost all the way up the hanger. I mean, that's pretty subjective. What does that mean, almost all the way up the hanger? And the pictures here, barely up the hanger at all. So don't know what that means. That's a little confusing. Thread a hanger into each of the 4 mounting holes, 3 on the top of the air cabinet. So we did that. Now what direction they go, it's pretty ambiguous about that, but for me I chose this is where my garage door opener will be, so I can come in behind the garage door opener. That made sense for me. Tighten each lock nut against the cabinet top. Hold the hanger so that they do not spin while tightening the lock nut. That was a problem. This one was just loose and it kept spinning. Same with this one here. So I don't know how perfect this is. They look pretty close. So anyways, this is an issue where you may have some trouble with the installation. I know I did. Ceiling placement. Make sure the unit will be situated at least 7 feet above the floor and at least 3 feet, 1 m away from the corner and from any heating or air vents. Okay? This is where we're going up here. There's the garage door opener. And then we'll go right behind there. You put this in close to this, and then you hang it from these chains. Like this. So let's look at our measurement here. This is 23. Okay, so there's 23 inches. That seems a little low. We ended up going 17 inches and 7 inches, about 7 inches from the ceiling. That's way too low to hang 23. But we could double these up. Let's see, so if we wanted to shorten this, we'd go on here like this. You can see how I did the chain here. 1, 2, 3 links. Okay, so now we got a little bit of wiggle room. We can put these in here, and if this is not perfect, because if I'm off a little bit, so we'll try it. If I can get this measured to whatever we said to 13 and a half. 11.5. So we'll try that. All right, let's look up here and see if we can figure out where the studs are. If we go by the bolts, there's a bolt here, so there's probably a stud along here. All right, mark that up. All right, where was that? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Right there. All right, go ahead and mark that up. Okay, so it looks like we have a stud along here. It's bolted in right there. We're probably looking at another stud over there. Okay. Now, all I can assume, if I put these here and then I have the chains come down here, that would work. All right, so we're going to do that. We'll put those in. Okay, that's hitting the stud. And that's hitting the stud. Okay. So we're going to go this way. And the chains will be coming down this way. I don't know about this. All right, so now we want to go back 11.5 inches we had. Seems pretty sketchy to me. All right, so here I am doing the hokey pokey on the ladder. I don't like this. This seems pretty sketchy. Plans seem great compared to me spinning around on the ladder. I got to spin around on the ladder again and do the hokey pokey, so who am I to criticize? Who am I to criticize Wen? But if I can't put it up here safely, I'll be like, oh, I could breathe great, but I got all this physical injury from it falling on me. Don't want that. Okay, well, I don't know. 100 pounds, I can't hang on it. I weigh 235 pounds, so I'll have to take their word for it. Okay, I have no idea if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it. Oh! 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 Well, luckily it's not too heavy for me. Chains are a little rattled on this one. Okay, so the chains were twisted. To make sure the twains aren't twisted, Make sure the chains aren't twisted. Alright, well luckily it wasn't that heavy. Let's check and see what this thing weighs, but it seemed to fit up there alright. I could hold it with one arm while I positioned the hooks. Okay, this is where we want to go. We got a 3-prong outlet up here. We need to get a tie up here though. Attached up here, get this cord attached up here out of the way. Oh yeah, it's blowing out here pretty good. Just don't know if this is blocking it. Still not sure if it should be facing this way or if I should have flipped it, but the nice thing about this is if I open the garage door, it will blow out. So here we are with the chains up here, the hooks into the ceiling. And then we're going 1, 2, 3 when we wrap this around. So with 3 links, I have a 9-foot tall ceiling, and this thing's hanging about 8 feet off the floor. So that gives me plenty of clearance. Went ahead and set it on high for 4 hours. All right, that's secured up there above the garage door, out of the way. It's down below here. I was thinking it might not be, I should maybe make it higher, but I'm glad I did because then that gives it more airflow. It's off to the right of the garage door opener and it's a little bit below it, so. I can already feel like I can start to breathe better.
It looks pretty good. If you want to get some more information on this product, I put the Amazon affiliate link in the description below, so you can head on over to Amazon to find out more information about the Wen Air filtration system.
Okay, so I've had the Wen Air filtration system running for about an hour now, and oh man, it is great in here. I can't believe how good it smells, how much better I can breathe in here. It's not all dusty. So I'm really impressed with the Wen Air filtration system. But as promised, I'm going to show you how to make a makeshift air filter. If you don't have the money right now to get the Wen Air filtration system, you can go ahead and take a box fan and strap a couple of filters to it, and it's going to work better than nothing. You'd actually be surprised how good it is. The only caveat I have is I just have some cheap air filters here. The Wen has a 5-micron pre-filter and then a 1-micron inner filter. And this is not, I don't even know what these are. I don't think they're that. For our makeshift air filtration system, with this particular fan, it had the electric and had the controllers on the back. So I just cut a hole in the filters. I just used a pair of scissors and cut a hole in them so that it can access the controls. But that does limit some of its effectiveness. So if you get one that has the controls and the electric on top, that would probably be better. Otherwise, you're going to take your chances. If you cover all this up, there is always that risk because the air filters are charged with static electricity. Static electricity, that's a whole nother tinfoil hat video all in itself. But the static electricity can cause fires in wood shops. So you do want to be careful anytime you're introducing static electricity near an outlet. You want to go ahead and keep an eye on this. I probably wouldn't leave it unattended. I'd go back and check on it and make sure it's all right, just to be safe.
It looks like I have this on backwards. Remember to make sure you check the arrows and make sure they're pointing in the right direction.
Okay, now you can access the controls back here, and you can plug this in and unplug it. My only concern I would have here is that air filters are static, are charged with static electricity to collect particles. So if there is some static electricity here near the outlet, it may or may not cause some problems, so kind of use at your own risk. All right, I hope you enjoyed the bonus tinfoil hat tip of the week. Thanks for watching.